Alright, YouTube, so you probably know what Powerpuff Girls is. If you're like my age, maybe even a little bit younger, you probably watched it growing up. If you also might be aware that they added a new version. They kind of rebooted the show or whatever last year or this year, and they're adding a fourth member to the team, and it is quite interesting. Powerpuff Girls was one of those cartoons I watched growing up on Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network back then, and really just cartoons in general, even showing like a Nickelodeon, they're almost all good. The cartoons they have today, I've seen them here and there. They're fucking trash, dude, compared to what I grew up watching. I've even watched episodes of Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, Rocko's Modern Life, shit like that. I've watched even as an adult because sometimes they have edgy fucking jokes in there, shit that only adults or maybe older teenagers would get. So it's something that you can watch at kind of any age. Now, I thought about making a video about the announcement of there being a fourth team member just because it's kind of douchey. I'm just like, man, they're taking this childhood cartoon. I knew they rebooted it or whatever, started new episodes. Have not watched any of those, but I knew they restarted the show. Didn't really care that much, but when I found out they were going to make a fourth member for the team, that kind of bothered me, but I never got around to making a video. Now, as of recording this video, the episode has already aired where they revealed what this character looks like. And they released this promo picture kind of a while back, and I knew from this that the silhouette of this character, that something was already kind of off. Like, she's drastically bigger than they are. Her hairstyle is drastically different than them. But goddamn, I was not prepared for how different she actually is. They actually went out of their way to add a fourth member of the team, just so they could have a black main character on a reboot of an old cartoon. I couldn't believe this shit when I first seen it. There is a difference between something like equality or inclusion and pandering, and this is clearly fucking pandering. To me, it's clearly pandering, because the new version of the show is on its second or third season currently. It'd be different if the new rebooted version or whatever, I don't know if it's a reboot, I really have no idea. If the new version of the show started with the fourth member and it was the black chick, it would still be an issue, but it'd be different. My guess is people who had never really seen the show before because it was kind of older. They rebooted it, seemed like the first or second season, and it was primarily all white characters. I think it actually is. I don't remember any black characters being on the original show. So primarily a white character show, and of course the internet probably took that and ran with it, and they were just doing it to pander to the people who are upset because there wasn't a prominent black fucking character. And this shit isn't even new for new remakes and versions of stuff. They did this with Ghostbusters, making an all-female cast. Apparently Lord of the Flies is going to be an all-female cast instead of an all-male cast, which is actually very important for the story of Lord of the Flies. And then you have something like Disney where they're having the first openly gay character. This is nothing new. There's always some kind of agenda or SJW bullshit, and that's all this fucking is. You know what I want now? I want a Fat Albert reboot, but I want the main character. I want the new Fat Albert to be a big old fat white guy. And if you guys don't do it, I'm going to bitch and cry on the internet till it happens. Look, this isn't the biggest deal ever. I'm not going to lose sleep over this new character being black, but it was unnecessary. First of all, it was unnecessary for them to even add a fourth member, but they probably did it just to kind of add new interest to the show, maybe bring in some old viewers to see the new member. But the fact that they went through the effort of making this new member intentionally to add a black character to the show, it's so obviously pandering to the black audience. They're trying to draw black viewers into the show, get the black people watching our new cartoon, our all-white cartoon. Let's get the black people. Maybe they'll start buying Powerpuff Girl t-shirts and toys. And I'm sure there are people out there who are super excited about this, and they're just like, oh my god, such progression on Cartoon Network. You're a fucking idiot. Shut the hell up. Even a line from the article that I kind of showed the screenshot from earlier proves my point. Additionally, as has been pointed out by many fans of the series, this new character marks the first black Powerpuff Girl on the series, a major step forward for inclusivity on the series. It's fucking pathetic. Something I've always noticed with this inclusivity bullshit, the special snowflake stuff, is it's either always a honed-in black character or a fucking honed-in gay character. It's never, where's the Asian characters? Where's the fucking, Spanish or Mexican characters? It's always gonna be one or the other. It can only ever be a gay character or a black character. That's it. Always. My guess would be because they are the two groups of people that bitch the fucking most about stuff. And it's not even a racist statement or me being homophobic or some bullshit. You can look back on my channel and there's so much fucking proof of how much these people bitch about inequality. And that's my guess. Also, why the fuck is she a foot taller than everybody? Her head's twice their size. Why is her hair a fucking neon blue? And why does she have these thick ass hips, man? I don't get it. I really hate this inclusivity bullshit. You never fucking hear anybody like any white people bitching about all black TV shows and movies because nobody gives a fuck. Only the fucking black community, the ones that get upset about the shit, and the fucking LGBT community ever bitch about the lack of their group of people being excluded from TV shows and movies. Because the majority of the population do not give a fuck about this stuff. And it's not really the biggest deal ever. I've said it earlier in the video. But the problem is when you take something, like take an old TV show or movie, and you switch it up entirely, like Ghostbusters, like Lord of the Flies, or you change the skin color of characters for no apparent reason other than pandering. There's no reason to make the cast of Ghostbusters a reboot of the fucking old show and make it all women. There's just no fucking need for it, and that's why that movie bombed. You know what? The Powerpuff Girls need some males, some guys on the main team of good guys that I can see throughout every episode. I want male representation in every episode of the Powerpuff Girls. So I am boycotting this cartoon until the Rowdy Rough Boys are part of the main squad. Like I said near the beginning of the video, there's a difference between inclusivity and equality, and then there's pandering, and that's clearly what this is. We talk a lot about Final Fantasy VII Remake here on the channel if you guys are regulars, and because, for one, that is a remake, that's like a reboot type of thing. It'd be like them taking Cloud and, for progression's sake, we're going to make Cloud a transgender black guy now, because inequality. There's not enough black transgenders in the Final Fantasy VII universe, so here you go. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts below, as always, on this topic. I didn't give a shit that... it bothered me at first that they were adding a fourth member. Did not really care. When I seen that they were forcing in a black character on the main cast of the Powerpuff Girls in a second or third season of the reboot, I knew there was an issue and there was a problem with it, and I wanted to speak about it, tell you guys my thoughts and opinions, and I'd like to know yours as well. If you guys went on to enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Follow me on Twitter at TheDashingDavid. Follow me on Instagram at DashingDavid. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect little girl. But Professor Utonium accidentally added an extra ingredient to the concoction.
What a fucking nigger.
To conclusions, all the things that we thought we were losing. I'm a ghost and you know this. That's why we broke up in the first place. 'Cause I want you